Hello everybody, and you join me in the promised second part of Rob's car collection. I just want to update you because this is more of a bloggy diary of my travels and exploits, and this trip, as seen in the first episode that I featured Horrigan Autos, I'm really pleased that so many people have enjoyed that video, and there's some really nice cars, particularly the Escort. People keep talking about that Escort, and I really hope that goes to a good home and someone is prepared to look after that car, because it's truly a very, very nice find, that and they don't come up very often. But as apart from that, the first part of that episode was a problem with Beatrix yet again for the Rover people. What was suspected to be a faulty tank cap or faulty header, I thought it was the actual thread on the tank actually playing up. Turns out actually it's not. So if you come around here, I'll show you what the problem is, because a new header tank has arrived at Rob's family garage, and I can just show you what the problem is. So down here, thanks Darren for the header tank. Okay, so this is a Mark 1 header tank, so it's not got the blind hole for the sensor. Okay, so this arrived today, and this was the cap that came with it. This is a genuine cap. Now, if I just screw this cap on, nice and tight, okay? So you've all witnessed that. It will screw it tight. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now screw this cap. Oh, sorry. Yep, I'm now going to screw this cap onto the old tank. What happens? Tight. That, I cannot twist that further. I've just got Rob to do it. He can't twist it any further. That's it. There's nothing wrong with the tank. It's the cap again. I can't believe it. But the proof of the pudding is, can we twist this cap on this bottle? Right, it's gone tight. It's still turning, and there we go, it's slipped. That is absolute rubbish. That is from X-Part. That's a genuine X-Part, apparently. I think I've been incredibly unlucky here, and I've just inherited, well, I bought one dodgy cap from a Rover specialist, of which I bought the tank from. And so obviously that was dodgy, that's confirmed that then. But this cap, supposedly genuine X-Part, is also rubbish. Why? I've got a feeling that this cap wasn't particularly great when I bought it. It was a much more firmer fit than the one that I threw in the bin with the blue seal. But this one, so if you have a cap with, you can see that in the light, TRE, okay? TRE is what it says, okay? This is what it looks like. It's got a black seal. Check it out if you've got one of these caps. I would just check that it seals properly. I'm not saying that they all don't seal. I'm sure there's good ones, but unfortunately I've drawn the short straw again with two dodgy caps. Unbelievable. So that's the end of that problem. I have got a spare tank. This is in really good condition. In fact, there's hardly any cracks on this at all. So, in fact, I can't see any cracks. So that's a fantastic second-hand spare. So, yeah, that's going in the boot. So I've screwed that on. I've just got to top up a little bit more. I'm going to bleed it out again, and that's it. I'm just going to start the car and let it bleed out. But I cannot believe that. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is what you have with, I mean, supposedly a genuine part has somewhat failed again. But anyway, I'm going to start this up in a second. But I'm just going to turn backwards to the car that's sitting behind me, because now we're going to focus on actually two cars that Rob has acquired since the last video. Now, I'm just going to just say one thing. There have been a couple of cars sold since the last video. So the G-Reg Blue Fiesta has sold for £6,200 at a classic car specialist. That has gone to a Ford collector, and it is a collector's car because of the so low mileage, 8,000 miles from brand new. So it's almost a museum piece, and I think that's one of the reasons Rob wanted to move it on, because you just can't enjoy cars like that, and Rob likes to use his cars and enjoy them. They're not a museum exhibit. You have to use these cars, says the person that uses his Focus for about 200 miles a year these days. But the next one, the Maestro, the Austin Maestro. Originally it might have been a potential for me to have had the car on loan, but it hasn't worked out that way. The Maestro has actually gone to another home, and that's sold again through Hogan Autos for £2,900 to a loving enthusiast who's been looking for a Maestro for quite a few years. So I'm really pleased that it's gone to a really good home, and I think that's the main thing, that he's going to enjoy it, and he's a young enthusiast. That's even better. It's really nice to see the young people involved with these cars. So I'm glad the Maestro's gone to a good home, and that's the other car that's gone. There have been a couple of acquisitions. In the last episode you may have seen the black Astra that was in Hogan Auto's yard. That is owned by Rob, but it's been sold on behalf of the business, so that's up for grabs. But also Rob acquired another Astra, which is right behind us. Okay, look at this, an LS red Astra, but it had a bit of a problem with the engine. It needed a new engine, unfortunately. But this one is another ULEZ victim, and it needs a few bits and pieces, but strangely enough only yesterday has this had a replacement engine fitted. The car itself, now I will put it this way, that the key has snapped at the end, so there is a particular technique to opening this door. Oh no, not quite, hold on. No. Oh, it could take a bit longer than I thought. Ah, yes, done it. Right, that took a bit of time, but the only thing that needs doing to this car now is adjusting the gear linkage, because obviously it's an adjustable with a bolt onto the gear cable. So to get, I think it's second gear, that's a bit difficult, but look at this. There's nothing wrong with this car. It smells a bit musty in here, but that's usual. Just get in. Yeah, it just smells a bit like the animal farm in here. It smells like the donkey sanctuary, but that's okay. We've got to get another glass mirror sorted. But if you look at the mileage, I don't think you can actually see it, but it's done 114,000 miles. Now the engine that's been put in has only done 26. Unbelievable, and it runs sweet as a nut, I can tell you. So if I just pop the boot, pop the bonnet, shut it. Oh, wow. Now this is grimy under here. It's got a good battery on it. It does look very grimy under here, but it's only just been bought, and nothing really has been done to it apart from a new engine. This engine was put in only yesterday, and it came with a very, very clean gearbox. I'll tell you, very, very clean. This is one tidy engine. It's only done that mileage. We have recorded the mileage on the speedo and the engine, so that whoever owns the car in the future will be able to know how many miles this engine has done. But it's all extremely original. It's a nice little motor, this, and it's the correct engine for this car. And this car was actually based down in Kidderminster at some stage in its life. Ray Middleton. It's very, very original. And very, very straight. Underneath, it's just as clean. It really is. Just drop that down a little bit. That is where it was registered, in Harlow. But if I just bend the camera for you, don't know if you can see properly, but it is quite clean. I'll just show you down here. That's me, that is clean. That is clean. That is so solid, it's untrue. If I just take it round the back side, just this, that's it, just this down here. Take it back. That can be cleaned up really nicely. There's no signs of severe corrosion whatsoever. So yeah, a really, really nice car, this. I'm going to just show you in the back. We've got a couple of alternators. We're trying out a couple. There's an alternator bearing sound, so we've got a spare one down there. So one of them will be switched over. There's always teething problems when you have such a change, but the lovely cotton material it just needs a clean. It just smells like the farm. It looks like the farm a little bit, but nothing that won't come up. And the paintwork on this just needs a bit of a key and polish, and that's really the walls to be. It's really, really nice, this. So I think this is going to be a nice little car for somebody. Rob's not going to keep this. He will move it on. He'll just add things like this, just a missing badge, lovely window sticker there, this lovely nice little spoiler on the top. Yes, so this is going to make a good car for somebody. It is as solid as the black one we saw yesterday, the GRS. This one is just as solid. It just needs a few finishing touches to make it one heck of a nice car. I'm just going to pass Beatrix. Right, and then we pass to, oh yes. Now, most of you who've watched the Christmas specials will know a few of these cars in the garage. So we have Moo, the Escort LX, okay, that at the time of Christmas filming didn't have its carburettor, the same carburettor, the 2832 that is fitted to Ruby, unfortunately I've been having issues with, hinting to what episodes are to come for that one. And this car had a serious running issue where it just kept choking itself up, and in fact it wouldn't start. It has gone down to a Weber specialist not far away who has sorted the problem out, and that car now runs absolutely sweetly as a nut. That will be coming in the future, no doubt. But we still have, Rob has still obviously got this, the prized possession, I think, Mark II Fiesta. Yeah, beautiful car. And obviously we've got this superb Vauxhall Corsa. I have encouraged Rob to bring this to Festival the Exceptional if he's able to do so, work permitting, because this is concourse. It needs to be on the concourse because of how good it is. This is a keeper, 100%. Rob is adamant that that's staying. I do not blame him. You'll not find a Corsa like that ever again. It's really untrue. But this is the new addition to the fleet. It is an Escort 1.4 as usual, but it's not an LX, it's an L, as denoted by these wheel trims down here. It is an L Escort, so we've got LX, L, and this is Hugh. Yes, well, I would say Hugh, Hubert. Anyway, this car is it's been with Rob since around Christmas, because my Christmas filming was just before Christmas. He bought this car not long after, and this was a bit of a collection caper. This car was originally sold by Andy at Horrigan Motors, so he acquired the car around Christmas, and Rob bought it off him privately, and this is a superb car. It really, really is. It needed some cleaning. It really wasn't the cleanest of cars when it was bought, but it was, again, another lovely story with this car. And I'll just show you in here. Lovely, well-kept interior. And this car has done, I'm not joking here, 84,000 miles. So it's done more miles than Moo, but no, this is a really, really nice car. I do apologise for the lighting in here, but yeah, this is a really, really nice example. There's not much differences in the condition of this car to Moo, although there's one thing that I have spotted that many people who've had Mark IV Escorts will notice, is that this B-pillar can get a bit crinkly. Moo is completely different. It's gone a bit more Moo. I don't think Moo's open. Oh, it is open. Yeah, this is way more crinkly in here. It's a completely different smell in this car, completely different. But this is again another peach of a car, and it was registered at Harlequin Motor Company in Rose Hill roundabout, Morden. Another car. Love this sticker. This car has been adjusted to use unleaded petrol. Yes, because obviously this was the area where we were going to unleaded heads and people having to do conversions, but a lot of cars that were sold, they had to have this kind of stuff. You just come to sit down in here and the seats are extremely, they are comfortable seats, and the backs of the seats have got some give in them, which Ruby certainly doesn't have that. There's a little bit more support here for the lower sort of lumbar. I say I don't agree with cars that have to have, oh yeah, our seats come with lumbar support. Well, so did old car seats, because it was just soft, so it was natural lumbar support, not some sort of bolstered thing that gives you some sort of circulation problems in the back. But got a lovely slide and tilt sunroof here, I'll tell you. It's one heck of a nice car, this. There we go. Really, really nice. There we go. But it smells like my uncle's old Escort. Yeah, it's an old Ford smell. Not quite what Ruby smells like. They all smell slightly different. To say Moo smells much cleaner. And definitely of a car that maybe just came out the showroom. But this smells like it's been standing for quite a long time. Really nice. Now I'm just going to pop the bonnet. Now I'm just going to have to hold the bonnet because the bonnet prop, we lost, the grommet's completely missing. So we've taken the rod out and we're going to get a new grommet. That's the first thing I did to Ruby. It's always the grommets that go, it's the first thing. But it looks extremely tidy down there. It has been cleaned up. Rod's been out really cleaning this up, and it still requires a lot of cleaning up. I tell you what, got a good battery on it though. They're very good batteries. Yeah. It's really tidy and very original. We've got the original alarm box down there, the original coil. The master cylinder has definitely been changed because I don't recognise that as an original. Still got the sticker on the servo down there, but it's all really clean. We've done a bit of cleaning down there on the gearbox. It's all coming up really nice. I mean, look how clean that part of the gearbox is. Really nice. We've got a bit of oil going on down there, just rocker cover leaks again. But this one again, slick 50, you know, nothing, absolutely nothing. This has got pink coolant in it. Well, it's gone a bit rusty pink, yeah, as they all do. But it's all really solid down the chassis legs, even down there. Really nice. Oh, I love this. And this runs, I think, in terms of a competition, this runs just as quiet as Moo. However, they're all very different. Have to slam it for it to shut. They're all very different here because this car does not smoke at all. I've got this right. This car does not smoke. This one does smoke. Bit more like Ruby. Ruby smokes and blows a bit of oil. That's just a little bit of oil. I've got a feeling that this blows a bit of oil. The Mark III Fiesta we saw the other day, that smokes, and I could swear I smelt a bit of oil, but less than Ruby, because it's not obvious in the exhaust. So every CVH is extremely different. The way they were manufactured was not, they weren't consistent, were they, really, with the way they built them. I think it was pot luck whether you got a Escort or Fiesta or whatever it is, a Ford of this age, that didn't have a body that rotted as soon as it came out, depending on whether they painted over rust or not. In these cars' cases, and Ruby, the reason they survive is probably they were the best manufactured, and that's the truth for a lot of cars this age. The ones that survive today generally are the best ones that were manufactured. Even with a heated garage, some of these cars probably would have still started scabbing around. This car isn't an exception at the back, and it has started to go a little bit on the arch, but it's not that bad. It really isn't. It's very minor. It's a bit more like Ruby, to be honest, where it's just a little bit in a few areas, but nothing that can't be maintained and treated before it creeps in. But they're all different. The CVH is very much of that ilk, you know, depending on how you maintain it. But as I say, this is quiet, Ruby's quiet. You just change the oil on them and you look after them, and there's nothing wrong with a CVH. I had some slight worries and misconceptions before I bought Ruby, but as you delve into an engine and understand them a bit better, there really is very little to worry about, as long as you change the oil, make sure the breathers are unblocked, and change the cam belt. So yeah, this is a really interesting. The Jag that we saw in the last video, that has sold. Okay, the XJ, that sold for I think around 7,000, or probably less than that actually. Took a while to sell that car, but that car's actually gone to someone who is employed by the royal family, believe it or not. So yeah, so royalty enough in it as it is. So yeah, it's really pleasing. There have been some minor changes here and there, but there are always cars to see, and there are some cars the next time I come and see Rob that we're going to get out, because it's going to be the summertime, it's going to be warmer, and there's some, probably the best cars that I've yet to show you have not been revealed yet. But I'm just going to leave this episode here. The theory with Beatrix, and I've been talking to a couple of people about this, is that header tank, there's two things that are going on here. I might have bought caps that are very poor quality, or the tank is very poor quality. So what's happening is the tank is expanding and making the cap deformed, so it doesn't actually fit. So the tank will cool down, and so will the thread when it's sitting like this, but the cap is so deformed, obviously it's deformed, and that's why they don't fit. Now, it's taken 7 months to go through that first cap that I bought with the tank from the specialist. It's only taken 4 weeks for it to go through the cap that is now in the boot of this car from Expart. So you work that one out, because I'm not sure what's going on here, but we'll find out whether we've got some bad caps or whether this tank is eating caps. Literally, it's destroying them. I'll find out either way, because I've got a better header tank, and then I can go from there. But I can't really draw conclusions. I don't want to contact the specialist, because I'm not in awareness of what the answer could be, because I like to say it's definitely this, I've done this, this and this, and I'm sure that most of you who own Rovers with a cases will want to know what the issue is with this, and to check it out. But I would definitely say, if you've got a cap that says TRE on it, please make sure that it screws on firmly. So this is a bit of buying advice. So that's really the end of this. So I am going to try and make my way back to Birmingham a day after this video is put up. And well, interesting. So I thought I'd give you this little update what's been going on, because Rob is constantly buying parts and buying cars, some to keep, some to sell. It's a bit of a funny one. Car collecting is very addictive, as I've said, and he might be going to see a certain Mark II Focus later on, which I'm going to get my hand on. So I'm going to leave this here. You take care, and fingers crossed for Beatrix, I think. Take care. I've completely forgotten to mention, and I don't know how I did, but you see this car here, yeah? Well, this car is up for sale, and it is up for sale for, I think, around £3,200. So if anybody wants this car, quite a critical piece of information. As I say, this is one of the cars that won't be staying. The Astra probably will be going soon, but it's not up for sale, not yet, but it might be going somewhere sometime soon. So I might inform you of that. But this Escort is up for sale, by the way. So if anybody wants a piece of nostalgia, I think that's a very, very reasonable price for what is a very nice car. So I will leave this here. You take care, guys. See you very soon.